This channel and video is sponsored by Ratchet Clothing. Go check out their website. I'll put a link in the description below. Today we got an interesting topic that I think you're going to like. But before we get started, I just want to say, in my regular life, besides my involvement with YouTube, I don't really think too much about my former life. I do receive a great deal of messages from viewers asking me all kinds of questions, and I do my very best to try to respond to all of them. It's only normal for certain things in the past to come to mind, but one of the reoccurring thoughts that always comes to my mind, I'm going to discuss in this video. Growing up, I remember learning about the Cowboys and Indians. We've seen it on TV, and some of us even made it our Halloween costumes. What's funny is the Cowboys represented the good guys, and a lot of guys like myself in that life at one time for Halloween were dressed as cowboys. I bring this up because just like Cowboys and Indians, you had cops and robbers, and in the street, there's wise guys in the FBI. I'm a firm believer in the term, know thy enemy. For those of you who read The Art of War by Sun Tzu, you'll recognize the following. If you know the enemy and you know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. So just like the FBI and law enforcement is the enemy of wise guys, the wise guys are looked upon as opponents to law enforcement. It's their job to study crime families and all the people who are associated with the families. I think everyone will agree the FBI has an advantage. They have unlimited funds and manpower. They also possess dedication. These are people dedicated to doing their job, which is making cases. Maybe not in every case, but for the most part, the wise guys give the FBI the goods in which to indict them. And they do this by not learning from history and repeating the same mistakes over and over. Let's take the Lucchese squad, for example. These are people who on a Sunday, on their days off, are in the office working, studying everyone from the boss down, and like a puzzle, putting the pieces in their correct order. Do you think guys in the mob are studying the FBI on a Sunday? I'm no longer in the mob, but for the sake of this video, I'll use the term we. When we were in the street, could we spot an agent or agents? Yes. Most of us could or should be able to. Could we spot if we were being tailed? Yes. Some of us could, but I noticed that most people were oblivious. Did we know that the FBI used bugs and phone taps? Yes, but some people still spoke recklessly. Did we know what time agent A, B, or C got up every day? No. Who they met with or what their favorite restaurant was? No. We didn't know their personalities, their likes and dislikes. In fact, we didn't know anything personal about any of them. So that's the major advantage that the FBI does have. They could tell you Joe Caridi's eating in El Baco, or Patty De La Rosa is having dinner at Menino's in Oakdale, or Mikey DeSantis is playing racquetball at the gym in Bay Ridge. So where am I going with all of this? In May of 2017, I get a message from Johnny Sideburns that it's urgent and he needs to see me. For those of you who may not know, Johnny Sideburns Sorella was a member of our crew. Many years ago, he was originally an associate of the Genovese family, the West Side. But through his friendship with both Joe Caridi and Louis Dedone, he became inducted into the Lucchese family. At one point, he was even made the captain of the Brooklyn faction. This is when the administration realized that Johnny Bedanza was incompetent and took him down. Johnny Bedanza at the time was married to Danny Katea's daughter. So that's a perfect example of nepotism in the mob. It goes on all the time. Anyway, I take a ride to Howard Beach and I go meet with Sideburns. He wasn't acting himself and he had a concerned look on his face. He said to me, I think you should go up to your family's house in Saratoga for a week. In the normal world, a friend suggesting that you should go away for a week is a little strange. But in that life, it's never a good thing. It's not like someone's concerned about you and thinks that you need to get away and relax. My immediate response was, what's going on? He said, there's going to be a big sweep. I said, with who? With us? He said, yeah, Abogada. I asked him a specific question just to see what his answer would be. When's this supposed to take place? And to my surprise, he had an answer. Either Wednesday or Thursday. What most people don't know is that guys in their life are very leery when it comes to Thursdays. Most of the time, a big bust takes place on a Thursday and usually happens at 5 a.m. FBI agents fan out and hit the house of their targets simultaneously. They do this so that the families of the targets can't warn other targets. Anyway, I asked him, "You and me too?" Up to this point, I really didn't give the conversation much thought until he answered me. He said, "No, it has nothing to do with us, but it's better if we're not around." So I asked him, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm leaving in a little while for upstate." Sideburns had a girl that he dated for many years who lived upstate. Unfortunately, she passed away about 2 years ago. She had a little dog, which he now takes care of. So Sideburns and I said our goodbyes, and like I mentioned, he was headed upstate. As for me, I decided to stick around because whatever was going to happen was going to happen. If either of us was part of the sweep, we would be fugitives. We would either have to eventually turn ourselves in or get caught. So I stuck around Long Island and took my chances. Lo and behold, that Wednesday, it's all over the news.
And new at 11, a massive mob bust involving the Lucchese organized crime family. At least 19 alleged associates and members are under arrest on federal racketeering charges.
Over a dozen Lucchese members, including the administration, were all arrested. If you ever experienced an oh shit moment, that was mine. Naturally, my first thoughts was, how did Sideburns know this information? It could have been told to him by someone else, or I've even heard when the bail bondsman will overhear something in the courthouse and they go tell people. But usually something of that magnitude is kept under wraps. I never mentioned to anyone what Sideburns told me, and he never brought the subject up to me again. However, after walking away from the life about a year later, there were certain things that I heard. On my own, I pieced together how I believe Sideburns came about getting that high-valued, sensitive information. I'll just end it with this. In 1981, Milton Bradley aired a commercial for its Connect 4 game. I'm sure some people remember it. In the commercial was a brother and sister playing the game, and at some point, the boy tells his sister,
"Pretty sneaky, sis."
I hope everyone enjoyed this. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Please remember to hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, you could do so down below. If you think this video may interest friends and family, please share it and thank you. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their day. I'll catch you on the next one. You can subscribe to the Sit Down News blog at sitdownnews.com, and I appreciate everyone who has subscribed. Thank you. Well, just another example in the mob you never knew about. If you would like to subscribe to this channel, you can do so down below. If you would like to subscribe to my other channel, Unlimited Substance Podcast, I'll add a link in the description to this video.